Are men unattracted to independent women? I was talking to my guy friend the other day. We're talking about just like independent women. I was telling him how one of my girlfriends, she's super independent. She does X, Y, and Z by herself. She's like such a bad bitch. And she doesn't need really anyone to count on. And he goes, let me guess. I bet you she is single. To that, I'm like, why? He's like, well, historically, men have always been, the caregiver. Like they usually have always been that breadwinner, right? Type sort of personality. And he goes, so that's why when women are too independent, they're too masculine and men find them unattractive. To that, I responded and I said, I think it's because 50% of men are average at best, okay? And as a woman raises her bar and, she starts to provide herself that validation, she, does these things for herself and she counts more on herself to become more independent, her bar raises, meaning that the men that can match her at that level are fewer men. And so that is why these more independent women, are typically, I guess, more single based off of what he's saying, because they just haven't found someone to match them at that level yet. Maybe independent women don't like most of the men now.
What up, team? So I'm going to answer this question right off the bat. No, men don't want independent women and they don't desire independent women. I think women fail to realize that a man's mating strategy is not to find a woman to take care of him and provide him provisions and protection. That's not our mating strategy. That is, however, a woman's mating strategy. Now, in modern days, a woman's mating strategy is all about trying to find a guy that can give her the best genes, the best looks, the best athletic build, the best chance for her offspring to survive. All while holding on hope that there's a financial provider on the back end that's going to take care of her. So she has a two-pronged strategy where in her youth, she's going to give her best years to the popular guy, the guy that looks good, the guy with the six-pack. And then on the back end, the guys that she ignored who now become successful, she's going to try to bounce back to those guys, right? So we got two different strategies as men and women. So men are not looking for a provider. So when we see a strong independent type that doesn't need us for the things that we go to work for, the things that give us purpose, men go to work no matter what job they do. And I don't know why average is so villainized these days. No matter what job they do, right? They go to work with the goal in mind of providing for a family. Starting a family, providing for that family, and taking care of their kids, taking care of their offsprings. So they want to provide protection. They want to provide provision. They want to make sure that there's a strong physical force in that family, right? That's why men go to work. So when you see a woman that don't need you for any of that, there's gonna be some resentment. If a woman has to go out and provide a nice dinner for you and her and then have to pay the bill, she might be okay in the short term. She's never going to be okay with this kind of relationship in the long term. So we know that. We're logical beings. We understand the big picture. We zoom out like eagles and we see the forest for the trees, right? So we know in the long term, a woman's not going to be okay with that. Neither is us. If we're not providing any kind of value, if we're not hunting, if we're not waking up in the morning and going out and getting it, it doesn't give us anything to aim at. It doesn't give us a goal, right? It doesn't give us a purpose. So no, we don't want somebody to take the purpose away from us. Now, when she talks about a woman leveling up, which I always hear, a woman getting into a higher level, and now, she wants guys to meet her on that level. And there's only a small percentage of people that get to a very, very, very super hyper productive level. So yes, those men are not looking for a provider. They are looking down. Men date down and they don't have a problem with that. However, on the flip side, women date up, right? They're very hypergamous, so they're not going to settle for things that they can provide for themselves. They want a guy on a higher level, and those guys don't want them. You know, it's the common dilemma in modern times, because women can provide all these resources, they have all these degrees, they are more intelligent than ever, but yet they can't figure out that that's not wife material. You know, they can't figure out how to be feminine. They can't figure out how to be led. So, yes, men are looking to provide, protect, but they're not looking for somebody who's going to dictate. And they're not looking for somebody who's not going to respect them in the long term. Because a woman that has to pay for you over and over and over, she's going to lose respect for you. She's not going to want to mate with you. That's just how life works. But anyways, love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the independent woman? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget, leave a like for your boy, okay? See you on the next one. Peace.